are those famous words penned by Tom Schulman in Dead Poets Society. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we're members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion. Well, that's the topic for this week's episode of the Creative Fight podcast. Thanks for joining me. Here we're going to look at one of the chapters later in the book. I think it's chapter number 18, which is called Why versus What. There's the what, which is the poetry, and then there's the why. Why do we actually do these things? And one of the poets that I mentioned is one of my favorite living poets or favorite poets of our time. Her name's Mary Oliver. In one of her poems, which is titled Messenger, she gives us insight into what she does and also the why. She says, my work is loving the world and standing still long enough to be astonished. I love that description. Why? Well, she goes on to say that her job is to notice, collect, and share what she has found. This anchors her work. And really for her, it's like she has these important messages to share with others. It's to stand still long enough to be astonished and then to share with others what she's found. Now, as a photographer, I can relate. Really, that is the point of photography, isn't it? It's to go beneath the surface. It's to notice things that the rest of us have passed by. And maybe even that's the purpose of art in general. Well, either way, there's the what, there's the thing that we do, then there's the why. And what we need to do in order to become more creative and more live is, of course, to have both. And so in this chapter, there's an exercise. And the exercise really is just starting to get you to think about your what and your why with whatever it is. Maybe it's that you drive one of your kids to dance every day. Well, there's the what, okay, carpooling. That's something you do. Why? Well, you do that because you love your daughter, because you enjoy that time you have with her, because you have big hopes and dreams for her. Or maybe there's your job. There's the what. You do that, but also the why. And the more we can add the why into the equation, often the better the what becomes. And so what I encourage you to do today is just to think about 5 things. What are these things that you do? 5 of your whats. And then also begin to reflect upon the why. And if you can clarify the why, all of a sudden it can add more meaning and purpose and focus to your lives. Now, as always, thanks for joining me in this episode. If you want to share any of these ideas with me, you can email me directly or post it on social media. Just use that hashtag, The Creative Fight. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your whats and your whys and how adding more of a why to the what has helped you out or has changed your focus or whatever it is. Well, if you have thoughts and suggestions or other ideas, you can also send those to me as well. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you in another post. Bye for now.